Whoa. Are you okay?
I'm here, present.
You looking rough.
Hey, I'm not looking any more rougher than Tennessee's coach Huffle. I mean, he looked rough last night. I look rough this morning. Thanks, Huffle. He's my role model.
Huffle is always like a little scruffy. Like maybe he was like, listen, I ain't got nothing, no time for nothing but coaching, except for yesterday. All right.
Well, I know how you feel. I feel like I've been beat up, run over, and tackled a couple times.
You look like it too. It looks like somebody got your collar. You all stretched out. Okay.
So I'm stretched out. Okay. Okay, grandpa.
Oh my God.
We had some games.
Okay. So we had some games, but did we have some games? We are officially through round 1 of the new 12-team bracket in the college football playoffs. And there is a lot of mixed feelings about the weekend. I want you to hold on that. Don't get them yet.
I ain't got it.
Don't get them yet. We will get them, but we are. Let's just go through the games chronologically. So we did a mini show yesterday, kind of check in, test out our technology, right? So we mentioned the Indiana Notre Dame game that happened Friday, and at that time, I was giving Indiana a hard time.
That's you. That's you all.
That was me. Well, I was like, this team looks awful. Is this going to be a whole argument about who should be in, who should be out? But lo and behold, little Indiana had the smallest loss margin out of all 4 games, which, well, let's talk about it. First up, the first game of the day yesterday, seeded 11 SMU versus seeded 6 Penn State. Scores 38-10. Penn State won.
No. Did SMU look that bad? Or did Penn State look that good? I'll answer that. SMU looked that bad.
I agree.
3 interceptions. Kelly, they got problems.
I agree.
I know he's got confidence in his quarterback, but the boy needs work. Lots of work. This is how they lost. If you'll remember, this is how they lost to Clemson. They tried to come back, but they got down too far.
Yep. Because if you look,
go ahead.
If you look at the score, and I know this is not how it works, but first half, Penn State got 28 points, SMU got 0. But second half, it was 10-10. They scored the same amount of points.
What was the score, Ben?
Yeah, exactly. And let's go back. Kevin Jennings is the backup. He got in early. He got in early in the season, but he is the backup. And so I know if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. There is a big difference. Now, let's also talk about SMU still has success. Before this game, they were 11-2. That's no fluke.
Right. That's right. That's true.
We always talk about having that perfect season was so hard. People do not understand. And winning 10 games is hard. Winning games is not easy. Like, I was watching the games yesterday, and we'll talk about it. But one play, somebody did the play, and it made it look easy. And I said, that's what they should do all the time. And I said, could you throw a ball that far on the dime into somebody's hands while somebody else is right behind him?
No, absolutely not.
Cannot. I mean,
absolutely not.
No athlete. So, unless archery counts. But so, the game was good on James Franklin, coach for Penn State, because I said, if he don't win this game, because they always say he can't win big games. I do disagree with that. He cannot beat Ohio State. He cannot beat Michigan. He's won a few big games. He's played some ranked teams. It's just
Don't count it out. Hey. And another thing, when you were saying that about like perfect seasons and Can you do that every Saturday? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm getting off the subject a little bit, but do you realize these kids are students? And I would bring that up only because Riley Leonard, who plays for Notre Dame, was out there just slinging them balls. And the announcer brought up, and they were saying, oh my God, he's playing one of the best games. And the guy's going, well, you got to understand, 40 guys on that team had to take final exams that week.
Yep.
Riley Leonard had I think he said he had 3 papers he had to deliver, plus he had to do an oral report. Yep. And I went, and play football? We forget. Yep. We forget. Yes. They are students. Yes. We love them on Saturdays, but they got the rest of the week to get through. And like you say, I have to come out there and play a Penn State and like 11-2. Hey,
and,
I'm working.
And let's talk about the fact and let's talk about the fact that on top of that, right? They also they don't play. Like they said, they were saying for Notre Dame, that was the first ever Friday game. For Ohio State, it was the first ever December game in the shoe. You're not playing at home, right? And the universities, I mean, chef's kiss to them. They changed around some of the students' exams as well to make sure it could accommodate. They're leaving the doors open for the weekend. Christmas is Wednesday. Right? People are gone by now, but they wanted people to be engaged with these home games and stuff. So they're making all these moves. It's a big cost, and that affects the players too. Right. I may live in a dorm, or I may live in university housing. Like you said, I got to move around my exam. I'm already not close to my family. Fine, part of the price of the pay. That's how NFL works. And then I got to go to practice, and then I got to watch film, and then I got to talk to coach, and then I got to talk to the other coach, and then I got to make sure this, and we got to have uniform fitting, and we got to make sure our equipment's right.
Playing that football 40 times.
and it feels like 12 degrees outside. I mean, it's big. It's a big responsibility. And so that game was unexciting. So move on to the next game.
Right.
Now, this game should have been the biggest blowout because based on seeding, right? Texas was the top of the ranking as far as you could go for round 1, right? They were seeded 5. Right. Clemson was the bottom. They were 12. Clemson came out and they scored that touchdown. And I said, on that first drive, I said, okay.
Okay. I did too. I said the same thing. I said, all right, show me what you're working with, devil. Devil came back and said, I'll show you, Lors.
Devil has been here before. Devil has been here before. And now let's wait, my friend. Let's set it up. Now, we talked about this. Ewers, the quarterback for Texas, and Cade Klubnik, the quarterback for Clemson, played each other in the Texas state title in high school. And Klubnik's team won. Klubnik also had a defensive guy on his team by the last name of Taffy or Taffy. Tafe or Tappe. And so now Taffy plays for Texas with Ewers. He was a walk-on. He was a walk-on for special teams. He had earned his way on the defense. He had a really big play in the game at the end too. And so now it was a whole story behind it. I thought that was great. This is Texas's first year in the SEC. Right? Success to come this far is a feat, right? And so Clemson came out. I thought they looked like they was doing something. And then second quarter, Texas scored 21 points. And that's all she wrote. That's all you needed.
First half, I started to write Clemson off. I thought, shoot, Devil ain't got nothing in that bag of tricks of his. But not so fast, my friend. Devil came out second half. Yeah. And I said, no wonder. And, what was it? I said, I don't deal with the stats a lot because we're just concentrating on the football games. Right. But the man had like 7, what does he say? 7 championships, two or something titles. He's, second to Saban, I believe. He's second to Saban.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Saban's got to be one. So
Clemson's not new to this. Devil is not new to this. They've been here before. Texas, not so much. Right?
They got that score down to 1 touchdown difference. I thought, shoot.
Yep. And then Texas scored again.
And then I went, darn it, Dabo.
Now we talking, but you're
Go
absolutely
ahead.
right, because again, if we cut the game in half, first half Texas won 28-10. Second half Clemson won 14-10. Clemson scored
Right.
14 points second half. Texas only scored 10. Now I know you towards the end, if you win it, you don't really push and you start to put your backups in maybe. But however, you absolutely right. The problem is you could be a second half team, but you can't shit the bed first half. You gotta stay with it. And
You
I
gotta
thought
stay
that's why I
close.
thought SMU might have a little chance, because they was calling back. Clemson won on a walk off when they beat them in the ACC championship.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you get too far down. You get too far down, and you don't. And as Saban said, when people get those interceptions or those big stops, it's a momentum stop and drive. It stops the momentum. It's a momentum stopper. And so even if you like, oh, they look good 4, okay, they messed up 1, well, they can get back. No, it's like you got to get in a rhythm. That's what everybody says. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they were saying last night. Get in a rhythm. And once you do, you can just get that ball down the field. But you're right. I agree.
Now, and I'll say one more thing. Texas had only allowed 4 passing touchdowns all year.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So for 11 games, for 13 games, they had only allowed 4 passing touchdowns. Cade had 3 last night.
Yeah.
Come on.
The comments that the audience were saying in our world, he wasn't Klubnik like a number 1 not draft, what do they call him before
Recruit.
they recruit?
Recruit.
And I said, I don't know. I said, well, Clay, was he that top? He said, yeah, was one of the top recruits. But I think
he chose Clemson over Texas because he's from
He
Austin.
might have. I was going to look it up, but I was a little tied up this morning.
You look like it. Don't worry about it. But he was. No, I think they also mentioned it during the game that he opted for Clemson over Texas. And so, you can't be mad. I thought they did a good job considering.
He was talking about throwing the ball.
Texas was. Yeah.
Between him and yours, I couldn't decide who looked at the best. True, Texas won. But as far as quarterbacks, they were both out there. They star performance to both of them.
And I think Cade.
Go ahead.
I think Cade's got to come back. I don't know if he has to, but he may have to. I don't think he's a senior. He may not even be a junior. I can't remember, but
I did write this down. He's a junior.
Okay, so he could come back as well. Now, Ewers, unfortunately, I think he has no choice but to go to the draft or the transfer portal, because I don't think they're gonna let him start with Arch Manning as the backup. They're just salivating.
The Manning mob is out there.
Yeah, and you're right. So ESPN, they always put the top person, no matter the team, they put the top passer, the top rusher, the top receiver when they do the little mini. Klubnik's stats are better than Ewers because he was the number 1 passer. So he had better stats than Ewers did. Otherwise, Ewers would have been up here. So you were right in that assessment. Klubnik was better. Okay, so let's go to. Also wanted to make a note. We talked about. You said you think Oregon's gonna go all the way and win it, and I said undefeated. And then I said, you know what, Michigan did it last year. And then I got to thinking, like, how many people actually go through this whole thing undefeated? And so I looked it up, and I'm talking FBS, not BCS. So FBS championship started, I guess, in 1996-ish.
Something like that. I can't remember.
Before that, they used to call it something else. Oh, I'm sorry, I lied to you. I'm talking about the inaugural. I started with the inaugural one. Before that, they used to do a BCS. Before that, they just did. I think the Rose Bowl was technically the national championship or something like that. Anyway,
that or the Sugar Bowl, whatever.
So teams that went undefeated in the FCS. So of course, before this year was 4-team playoffs or whatever you want to call it. 2018 Clemson, 2019 LSU, 2020 Bama, 2022 Georgia, 2023 Michigan. So everybody does it. Yes,
wow.
it's 20.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's that many.
It started the 2014-2015 season. So 2014 was the season. The game is always played the next year. So 2015. So, but for those seasons, that's why I said 2023 for Michigan, because right now we're in 2024's championship.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a feat. That is a crazy feat. But let's get into the next game. This was going to be the game of the day. This was a game where the teams were seated right next to each other. Henceforth, why they put it on prime time. Before you go, I want to set the scene for you.
Am I going somewhere? I didn't know. Tell me when I should leave. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. I know. I didn't even write down the seeds. That's how bad.
Tennessee seeded number 9. Ohio State seeded number 8. Tennessee and Ohio State only have played once before yesterday, and that was in the 1996 Citrus Bowl.
Uh-huh.
In the BCS era, so before 2014, I think from 1996 through 2013, the BCS era, Tennessee won the first year they switched to the BCS era.
Okay.
But when they switched to the FBS era, Ohio State won the 2014-2015 inaugural college football championship. And yesterday they met in Columbus, Ohio, in the infamous shoe after Ohio State came off a most devastating loss to their rival, the biggest rivalry game in any sport, a team that has the talent of an NFL team lost. And this is the first game since that loss. And I'm an Ohio State fan. And I wanted my team to win, thought we could win. But we haven't played Tennessee. It's always different when you got an opponent you don't really know. Tennessee's SEC. And so I was like, we're going to win, but this going to be a game. I thought maybe 3.5. We're going to win by 3.5. It's going to be a fight. I think we both have great defense. And I think our offense is way better than Tennessee's going into the game. Because I know they have the rusher Sampson. I know they got the freshman quarterback, Nika Amalava, but they don't really have any receivers. But their defense is really good. And Ohio State has a problem all year stopping the run game, right? Yeah. So this is like, you know what? I'm going into it, and I'm going to be ready. But this is going to be a game. And then first quarter go.
I was ready.
First quarter go.
I'm telling you. So we were ready. First of all, we had to admire the uniforms. I thought, whoa, I don't know where them uniforms came from. They were too red to me. They remind me of Santa Claus. But anyway,
they're the same uniforms they wear all the time.
They look awfully red. Maybe it's the TV. Maybe it was me. I don't know. Anywho, they came out, and I was like you. I was saying, you better do something. I want to see something. I want to see anything, but I don't want to see that Ohio State that played Michigan. Kelly, I'm sitting there, and I think I turned my head and I turned back. Ohio State and scored a touchdown. I said, "Is this Ohio State?" So I said, "No, sit back." Went upstairs to get some refreshments. Came back. Ohio State got another touchdown. I said, "Wait a minute, run it." Next thing I know, it was 21. And I'm like you. I said to myself, I said, so where has this Ohio State been?
Where?
Am I tripping?
No. You gotta bring me that. Hey, if I get too crazy, give me the red light, because here's the thing. Give me the timeout. Give me the timeout. The frustration was this. We knew, and I don't care what people say the team costs. I don't care about none of that, because we all know money don't buy you talent, right?
Money on the team. Money on that field.
We all knew that there was a bucket of talent. And I have to say I was super impressed, because the other thing people think is easy is you bring in a quarterback, you have some veterans, then you bring in a quarterback, you bring in some other players, and just because everybody's great doesn't mean it's automatically gonna mesh in jail. We could talk.
No,
We could sit here and name. Me and you could go back to back and naming teams.
We talked about that. Alabama, Melrose,
girl, get out my head. I was thinking the same thing. And so then the thing is, so they came out talking beginning, came out. Wow, meshing well. You can see what they needed to work on. Fine. And then, like everybody else, here comes the injuries. We've seen glimpses of this team. And I think they played similarly when they played Oregon. I almost feel like they didn't even play their best when they played Oregon. Humble opinion. Maybe it was the big giant screen we was watching it on, or the Stellas that was fun. But I feel like they looked good, but they didn't even play kind of the best because we've seen highlights. Now, of course, doesn't matter when you play in Marshall. Doesn't matter when you play in Rutgers, right?
I know.
Playing another opponent that's comparable. When they came out and he threw first long ball touchdown, second long ball touchdown, I said, where has this been all season? And then that's when I told myself, wait a minute, that's not easy. That's not easy. We've seen football players, NFL Sunday, who can't even do that sometimes. I said, that's not easy. And they don't always, and of course, number 4, true freshman, Jeremiah Smith, they don't always have him open. It's always not available. They came out in that first quarter.
Right. Oh, he wasn't doing this. He wasn't done. Oh, he only had 4 yards. Man, if I got 2 guys on you, and they know this, and don't act like y'all, hey, don't act like you don't know this. Yes. And, don't act like Saban don't know it. They all know it. And you get into these shows and you start criticizing them, and you know these boys are double teamed. And, of course, they're saying, okay, then that's up to the coaches to try to get him up, blah, blah, blah. But I digress. You are right. Yesterday, it was like he was saying, or I don't know. Like I said, maybe it was the team that played. Maybe they didn't look at all the film the way they should. I don't know. He was open the whole game. And Will Howard.
He was out. They could not stop him. Well, here's the thing. They also said is if he's in a one-on-one matchup all day long. But like you said, the teams know, and other times he couldn't get away and double team. It may not have worked. The other part, though, is so I want to say the Ohio State team that played last night is the team we knew they could be. And mind you, the O-line injuries. The O-line injuries are endless. They almost had a new one yesterday. They had to tape up his ankle. The O-line injuries were endless. Seth McLaughlin, the one who had the season-ending injury, he was I'm talking key player. They lost people moving around. We talked about it all season on our show. Moving around.
Taped up, stitched up. There was
I said that. I say that to say that Ohio State team last night could beat the Cleveland Browns, if you ask me.
Oh, hey, I could beat the Cleveland Browns. But anyway, okay.
Amazing. Now, I do want to say the 2 huge passes from the highlights for me, and then I'll let you tell me your highlights. No, the highlights for me. The two big throws up front by Will Howard. I've been saying all year he's got an arm. Why ain't we using it? Will Howard did a thing where he did several. Chip Kelly in his bag last night. He did a thing where I thought Will Howard dropped the ball. I started yelling at the TV. Trey was like, no, he didn't. He faked it. He said he faked it. Somebody else was already running. I think Trayvon's already running. He did a thing where he Junkins ran behind him and he spun like he's gonna give it to Junkins, and then Trayvon's right here and he gives it to Trayvon. He did that once or twice. Chef's kiss. Now that interception in the end zone that Tennessee got was total BS. There should have been pass interference.
I know it should have been all over.
And he did and then he did not have a toe down when he had control. His toe was down, his hands realigned, his foot wasn't even down. But you know what I said? We are up 21-0. Let him have it. Give it to him. I don't give a shit. Let him have it. And then there was a bad call. We get an interception, and now we roughing the passer on Nico Amalave. They play it back. Nico Amalave's got his arms wrapped around the defender, and then the O-line guys pushing.
I saw the same thing you saw. And I went, okay. And and one of the comments was, well, they had to get one back some kind of way. And I
They
went,
was
you know what?
Vegas
I
called.
said,
Vegas called.
that's okay. I said the same thing. That I did not say anything because we were up. And then
if we would
said,
have been close,
don't.
I'd have been
But
pissed.
I will say this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said, if we would have been close, though, I would have been pissed.
I would have, yeah, so would I. That would have been a game changer.
Yes.
Game changer. So, to say this about that, Nico Amalava, I was impressed because we kind of laughed at him before with that one game where he held onto the ball for that 6 seconds. We should just do it.
He's a freshman, though. True freshman,
He's
I think.
Freshman.
Right.
But last night, and he was like, and I said, they got to stop this run. He was chewing them up 10 yards at a time. And I've always told you, sometimes you don't have to throw a long bomb. You could, but again, I said, Ohio State's got to find ways to stop that run. And like you said, that's a little,
but here's the other thing. Where was Samson?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
First half.
And there's another guy too that was hurt. What was his name? Maffa?
Oh, I see Maffa in the game. I didn't think Maffa was hurt, but Samson was he was nowhere to be found first half. And Nico Amalave runs. He was running. He was the only one looked like he was trying. I thought he was gonna get hurt. That would have been on him. But he kept running. That's a crazy defense to keep trying to quarterback run against. But the other audacity I found mad wild is Tennessee. The score was 21-3. Nico runs in for a quarterback, and he does the LeBron James celebration and Ohio State celebration, mocking them. They're down 2 scores, and your team is playing like crap. Why are you celebrating? Didn't get it. Oh, I'm sorry. I think they got one more touchdown after we put Devin Brown in the game 4th quarter, and probably all the backup. But are you for real? Are you kidding me? You celebrating? You're 11-21 after we scored 21 points on you off the bat.
Hey, I'll take anything. I'll take anything.
Wait a minute. The Dear Tennessee Football Instagram account, real smooth, taking the comments off and the reactions off, because you knew that was a piece of shit. Oh, Nico with the celly. Yeah. 42-17. 42-17. Kick rocks, little losers. Sorry,
I don't know if I've seen that or not. One of the patrons in our basement was a Knicks fan, and the Knicks were playing Milwaukee at the same time. So I might have missed that celebration.
Wait. NBA? You had to watch the NBA when Ohio State was on? Wait, who was watching the Knicks? What are we talking about here?
Well, our host was watching. Well, we did protest. The patrons did protest. And so I might have missed the celebration. We're watching the Knicks.
Wow.
So, anywho,
wow.
But
two more points I got to make is, one, everybody kept saying Ohio State needs to watch out for Tennessee's offense because they'll spread the field from end zone to end zone. I didn't see any of that. Right. They have no key receivers. I don't know where that came from. I mean, I guess they did beat Alabama, but I thought that was weird. And then, did you see Travion Henderson hurdle over somebody?
I think I was watching the Knicks. I missed the hurdle. I watched the replay.
How can we do a show when you are forced to watch the Knicks while college playoff games are on?
I did protest, and I did say we had a show to do, but
we got to get you new lodgings.
Immediately, because I can't miss these bowl games.
Bowl games are going to get final thoughts or thoughts on the Ohio State Tennessee game?
No, I'm good with it. But like I said, you got to keep doing it. You got to keep that energy. Well,
Ryan Day said we got a lot of football to go.
I know, and he did say, like you said, we made mistakes. Of course, hey, you got to get. You got to wash the rust off. I mean, you're sitting there for like, what was it, 10 days? I don't know how many days they've been sitting. Well, they ain't been sitting, but you know what I'm saying? You ain't been playing every Saturday.
3 weeks.
So now we got another week to sit. But
it sounds like they did a lot of soul searching and things like that too, as a team.
Yeah, because I thought they was going to be a little down. You know,
I didn't know. I'll be honest, I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know.
All right, babe. What we got? What else we got?
My final thought on it is Ryan Day, that is how you coach. And he even said it. We called this game more aggressively. That was obvious. You outcoached them. You let your team, you said it earlier, play your game. Play your game when it's working. When it ain't working, play a little bit of their game and beat them at their own game. But coaching the team, Ohio State looked amazing last night. And it's frustrating because it came at the end of the season. We should have been undefeated this whole time because that is what they can do. Again, with a hurt O-line. Crazy to me. Okay. Wrapping up. Round 1 is done. Thankfully, we do not have a playoff game until New Year's Eve. We have one on New Year's Eve. The rest of them on New Year's Day. So all of our anxiety, we get to take a break, but guess what? We still got going, baby.
Oh boy, bowl games.
It's still bowl season. We going bowling.
So bowl games.
What game?
What are we doing?
I love this time of year because I love this time of year because football is on all day, every day, and it's amazing. So,
go ahead.
We start back tomorrow.
Plus, we see teams we've never seen before. I'm amazed at that.
We don't always get to catch everybody. Yeah.
Did I tell you about that James Madison game? Sam Houston? Not Sam Houston. Not James Madison.
Thanks, Sante. You did. Thanks, Sante. Thank you. Okay, moving on. I will have to mention I was upset. I did not get to watch the FCS semifinals yesterday because it was North Dakota State versus South Dakota. But I'm gonna try to catch that just for my own love of the game. But we start tomorrow, the 23rd. Let's do a little tit for tat. You tell me a game you looking forward to, and then I'll go. And then I think everybody is looking forward to one game. The nation will be watching, as the announcers like to say. So you go first. What you looking forward to?
Well, let's see. I got a little team. I mean, I always say little teams, but their teams are teams. I got Toledo, of course, playing Pitt, and that'll be on Thursday. But some of the bigger,
I said tit for tat.
Okay, stop. All right, your turn.
Okay, my turn. So I did see that one. I did not put it on my must watch, but I did see one of my must watches is Oklahoma versus Navy.
Good one. I seen that too, and I was looking at that. I went, But then I saw the game I wanted.
What?
Syracuse and Washington State.
Okay. Syracuse, which is now ranked. Washington State almost had an undefeated season without a conference. Men without a country, team without a conference. So that should be good. Okay, let me give you one that you didn't name. Okay, what about this one? Oh, wait, I wrote it down wrong. Hold on, don't say it. Okay. This one, I got it. Georgia Tech versus Vandy.
I looked at that one too. I said, might be good.
Okay, give me another one.
Okay, here we go, baby. Now, I always like this team. Texas A&M, USC.
I got that one too. Lincoln Riley, Elko.
I like USC. So what? What are we gonna do?
Oh, it's in Vegas too.
What you're working with.
And I love Vegas. So that's gonna be a good one. And then of course I think this is the game that we are all gonna be looking forward to. The daddy of them all.
What?
Number 17 BYU versus number 23 Colorado.
There you go. That's the one I got,
baby. In the Alamo Dome. The Alamo Bowl.
Let me see what you're working with, Coach Prime.
Let's
Let me
go.
come on, boy. Come on, Travis.
Let's
Let me see what
go.
you working
And
on.
we like that little coach from BYU. He be dancing
Yes,
and having a good time. I can't think of his
he
name.
does.
Yeah.
I'm looking him up. I'm gonna look him up
I'll
before
write
we
it
go.
down.
I
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah.
I
I
like
like
him.
him. I like him. And you know what's amazing is, and as we've seen, this doesn't always happen. Shador, who we all figure plans to go into the draft, as well as, of course, Travis Hunter, Heisman Trophy winner, plans to go to the draft. They're going to play. And a lot of times, Bosa, people opt out of playing bowl games because it does nothing for you as a player, right? You take a chance of getting hurt, ruining your chances to go professional. But they're going to play. And I thought that, and this not just for Colorado. I bring up them because Heisman Trophy winner, you the best player in the country. And, Shador being the number one quarterback that's coming out of the draft. It's just I bring them up because they're at the top, but this is for all coaches. When you have players like that and you're playing in a bowl game, playoffs are different, but in a bowl game, that's why I thought SMU was weird, but I digress. I think it's a testament to the coach.
Yeah,
I want to play for coach because I want to wrap this up in a nice bow for him because I'll move on, but coach will be here. The university will be here, and some of my teammates. Some of my teammates will still be here, so they'll benefit from it, right? And so I thought that with them just being at the, cream of the crop, I just thought like, wow, like that's amazing. That just shows, the love of the game, the commitment. I think that goes along. If you ask me personally, and they may not think this when they scouting for NFL, I think that kind of stuff goes a long way. Because I can't teach you, sometimes people being athletic and catching the ball is just natural, but I can't teach you how to be a good human sometimes, especially at that age. You're an adult now. And so it's just like you want good people. One last thing, and then I'll let us go. We'll wrap it up. They were talking about, two things. One, Coach Day made a comment about making a win over SEC. He's like, I know how this is for the conference. Big Ten is tough football, et cetera, et cetera. And I like that because I know everybody who coaches and plays in the SEC acts like the SEC is on a different planet. And I'm not taking anything away from the SEC. However, other conferences have tough teams. And so you have to play a Georgia and an Alabama back-to-back. No. But other conferences have some tough teams. So part one. Part two, they brought up Jeremiah Smith. He broke a record for CFP, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, CFP record. And so they're like, what about, Scott Van Pelt said, I know Chip Kelly and I always text him, just throw it to number 4. He's like, what about that guy? Dave's like, he's talented, he's great. He's like, but he's an even better person. He's an even better human. He said nobody outworks him. He said he had an attitude coming into this game. He took that loss to Michigan personal, and he was like, and he came out and played that way. But he's a better human even off the field, and that's what I love. So,
I do.
Yep. And that's all I got.
Yeah, for now, me too. So, we're just gonna sit here and say, let's see what happens starting tomorrow. And let's roll on,
bowling. Let's watch some of these games.
Let's go
Let's hope they come out.
Yeah.
Let's hope they entertain me. We'll see what surprises us. And we're going to come back on Sunday and talk the bowl games from this week.
We sure is, because we got a lot of them.
We do. I'm Kelly, like the color.
And I'm Gee, like the butter.
And this is Saturday Hangover, coast to coast, bringing you the most of our opinions on college football. We are going to see y'all next week. Let's go bowling.